All right, good morning, everybody. My name is Steve Mahoney. I am a mentor with the Greater Hartford chapter of SCORE. Welcome to today's webinar. I'm delighted to be joined by Beth Bolton, who is going to talk all about goal setting. And it's the perfect time of year to do this. The beginning of the year, we're all thinking about goals we have for this year, whether it's personal, professional, you name it. So Beth's going to provide a lot of help with that. Couple points about this webinar. We did send out some worksheets in advance. There was an email sent about a week ago and then another one sent yesterday. If you did not receive that, please put your email in the chat box and I'll send it to you right after my opening comments here. And before I turn it over to Beth, and she can tell you all about her experience as a coach, a mentor, a business owner, a presenter, a speaker. She's got a wealth of experience, which is going to be great for this topic. I did want to tell you a few things about SCORE if you're not familiar with us. We're a nationwide organization. We're made up of about 10,000 volunteers. Our sole mission every day is to help small business owners. So we provide mentoring services, one-on-one mentoring. We offer workshops and webinars like this one. We also have a host of resources on our website. So the best part about all of our services is that they're free. So if you're looking for help with running your business, you can go to score.org. You can select Find a Mentor, fill out a little bit of information about yourself. And regardless of what kind of help you need, whether it's for marketing or finance or operations, and whatever industry you're in, more than likely we can find someone to help you out. So again, that's at score.org. Before I turn it over to Beth, a couple logistic items. This is kind of a unique webinar. This is going to be very interactive. So I see some smiling faces already. We'd love to see everybody on video, which would be great. So if you're able to turn your camera on and we can see you, that would be great. We're looking for this to be interactive, so we want to hear from you. Feel free to chime in with your comments and answers to Beth's questions as we go along. I would ask, though, if you're not speaking, if you could keep your microphone on mute, just so we can prevent any background noise and everybody can hear okay. So, and if you have any questions as we go along and you can't chime in with your microphone, feel free to put it in the chat box and we will keep an eye on that as well. So with that, I'm going to turn it over to Beth. Take it away.
Thank you very much. Hi, everybody. It's a pleasure to be here. I thank SCORE for having me here today to share with you how goal setting works and how it is beneficial to you. If you have gotten your worksheet, one of them looks like this, doing your big wish for 2022. This is a place where you just kind of reset yourself for the year. You're not making any kind of, what do you want to call them? I can't even think of the name.
Resolutions.
That's it, resolutions. These are just things that you are anticipating that you want to do for the year. So if you want to take some time, maybe if you haven't filled that out, to go ahead and fill that out. I myself was a small business owner and still am a small business owner. I owned a bakery for 11 years in West Hartford, Connecticut. I ran that bakery out of a very popular little neighborhood, and we built the love of community and we had a huge support of community. And then we had to relocate ourselves and we moved ourselves to another spot in town. And some of our customers came with us, some of them did not. So we just niched down our business and just worked on custom orders. I retired from baking at the end of 2019 to focus on helping women, people in general, looking to get a strong foundation for their business, making sure that they understand what it is to open up a small business. And goal setting is one of the best ways to help get yourself situated and started. It gets you thinking about all the different aspects of your business. I did not know that we were going to have the pandemic, obviously, in 2020. So when I closed my bakery and was ready to set out to help people, I didn't realize that I would be home for 2 years. So I am now getting myself back out there. I'm still working a lot virtually, not so much in person, but I'm sure that day will come for us when we can do that. So write your biggest, baddest dream. Has anybody written their dream for 2020? Chris, what's your big dream for 2020?
Run a 5K by the end of May.
Awesome. And have you set your steps in motion as to how you're going to achieve that? I'm sure there's training and everything that needs to go along with it.
Some, but not to the degree that I need to, which is why being here today is awesome. So I can kind of take some of your ideas and move it forward at a greater pace and make sure it happens.
Awesome. Anybody else want to share what their big dream for 2022 is? Okay, I gave you an example of one in your packet, but for me, my big one for this year is coming into my own. So me deciding that I'm going to be who I am going to be, and I'm going to take that forward into the year. And, you know, I have my big dreams. I want to be happy, healthy, and wealthy. And I look forward for continued success in my business. I wrote a book, so I want to be able now to maybe relaunch my book. So, and take the time that is needed to get my ideal client. So, and to spend a lot more time at the beach. So I dreamed very, very big for this year and hopes that some of those dreams will come to fruition. Well, I know dreams will come to fruition. So does anybody know why we set goals? Okay. One of the big reasons to start, a reason for setting goals is to give ourselves a direction, to help us make decisions, control our future, motivation. These are all things that help us when we create our 90-day goal. I'd like to use a 90-day goal because it's a short amount of time. Also in business, it goes by quarter. So, but you can start your 90-day goal anytime that you want to start your 90-day goal. It gives us personal satisfaction also when we set our goals. So goals are, when we set them, should give us a clear focus and helps you target your business, or for Chris, you know, your 5K, helps you reach that target and get to where you want to be. So anybody thought about a 90-day goal that they wanted to step out with? All right. Somebody.
I don't know. I just wanted to maybe say like accountability.
Yep.
So that you can hold yourself personally accountable to reaching that particular goal, whatever that you set out.
That's right. Absolutely. Most definitely. It does hold you accountable. I keep these sheets within my planner near my daily, and I look at them always to remind myself what those goals are and what action steps I have given myself to hold myself accountable for during this 90 days. So first of all, I always put a start and an end date. That way we know that it's not nilly-willy for the whole 90 days. We're not extending it out for a full year. We have a beginning and an end. And the end date is really important. It means that what you are doing for yourself, you want to have it done by the time that you have set that date. Then you're going to want to make an action plan for this goal. So for me, my goal, you know, I want to focus on gratitude, you know, because I'm coming into my own. I happen to knit and I like to read. So a lot of self-care this first quarter of the year. So making sure that I set the time. But let's look at it in a business sense. So let's say you want to increase your sales by $1,000 a month. and you're wondering, well, how am I gonna, in this climate, how am I going to increase my sales by $1,000 a month? Anybody want to take a stab at it?
Outreach. You have to reach out to potential customers or existing customers to grow the business.
Absolutely.
Marketing.
Marketing, yes. Yep, anybody else?
Networking.
There you go, big word. Absolutely. Another way to look at it is your $1,000, okay? So what is your product? What is your service? How many people or how many items do you need to sell to get that $1,000? So for me, it's a service. So how many clients do I need to get in that month to reach that $1,000 mark? And then you almost back yourself into it. So you know by month that say, all right, let's break it down to week. How much do we have to do each week? Let's go back even farther. What do we have to do every day? So if we want to network, like Paul said, if we want to reach out to clients, how many clients do we have to reach out to so that we can get that number that we want, that we're going to get the $1,000 that we want? And just a little side note, if you want to get 5 extra clients a month, that's going to get you your $1,000 a month, you can't just reach out to 5 people. You have to reach out like to 20 people because you're only going to get 5 people out of the 20 people. Does that make sense to everybody?
What about a cost analysis?
Doing a cost analysis for your goal?
Yeah, like, you know, if you're mentioning to like your products or something like this, just to make sure that your cost of that product is within the range or within places, or does that have to be tweaked in some kind of manner in order to reach a more, I don't know, a higher selling point or something like that? When it's some kind of weighing process in regards to what you're selling your product for, if there has to be any kind of change to that.
Well, if you are adding a new product, then yes, you're going to want to do cost analysis. But if you're going to have the same products that you have had, yes, you want to look at a cost analysis to make sure that you are in line and that you have the appropriate amount of profit that you're looking for. Yes, certainly do a cost analysis. But if you are not adding anything and it's really more clients that you need, or if you need to sell more product, where am I going to sell the product? How am I going to reach the person who is buying and using that product? Sometimes it's not always cost. Sometimes it's a matter of us reaching out. And I think networking is one of the best ways to do it. Now, someone said marketing. What do you think you're going to do with that marketing? How is marketing going to help you?
Reach more clients.
And what kind of marketing are you going to do to reach more clients?
I guess posters, emails, Facebook, word of mouth, talk to the people.
I'm sorry to interrupt. Have you had things in the past not work for you that maybe you want to try something different?
I think follow up and really putting my all into it makes it fall apart. Yeah.
That's really, really important. So after you have emailed people, you want to follow up with them. If you met with a group of people, you block time out in your day within the next 2 days after to make sure you follow up with that person, to make sure that you have provided the information that they were looking for, and do they want a time to speak with you?
Hey, Beth, one of the things that we talk about with our clients sometimes is that the marketing aspect is it's going to require multiple touches to turn a stranger into a customer.
Absolutely. 5 touches, I believe it takes. At least 5 touches.
Yep.
Before you get that person. Sometimes even more on social media. So if you're just posting on social media and hoping that someone is going to see you, you know, it's a generational thing. Who is looking at that feed? Because sometimes they're just going to whiz right by it and no one's going to stop and look at it. Second of all, you know, are you up in the storyline where people are going to look at it? So yes, marketing is extremely important during your goal setting. What other action steps do you think that you're going to have to take to get these goals in place? And remember, they do not have to be big steps. So Chris, I'm going to come back to you because you want to run a 5K. So what do you think? What is 1 or 2 things that you can start immediately to get you to your goal?
Get on the treadmill and eat better.
Okay. Now, how long are you going to be on that treadmill?
20 to 30 minutes every time I get on.
And how many times are you going to get on?
2 to 3 times a week.
You have to, this is why I keep asking you a question, because you really have to give yourself specific baby steps to take, because that's going to hold you accountable. And when it comes to eating, Chris, what is it that you're going to eat or you're not going to eat that's going to help prepare you for this?
Well, part of the, I wouldn't call it an issue, is my 50th birthday was last Friday. So we went a little nuts this weekend. My wife made her best meal she makes, homemade fettuccine Alfredo, and she made a chocolate cake with peanut butter frosting, a chocolate ganache.
There you go. That would throw me off of any kind of plan I was on.
Yes, very much so. So it's kind of a reset starting as of today. I think it's something where, and in my job, I'm always out and about. It's, not doing the convenience store stops. Those are pretty easy, and there's nothing in there that is healthy for you. And if I'm going to do coffee or tea, bring it from home because I know exactly what's in it and that I've prepared it.
Anybody else want to share what kind of business that they have or business that they're thinking about going into?
I think Chris would be interested in my business that I'm about to launch. I am launching a meal prep or a meal plan delivery service that also offers daily ordering and delivery. So I'm operating a ghost kitchen. It's all healthy food. It's salads, grain bowls, and wraps, and it's protein filled. There's some fat in there, but you have to have that flavor. But it's for like a grab and go for a busy lifestyle. You get your Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday lunches on Sunday night, and you just grab and go. And then Wednesday you get Thursday, Friday.
There you go. Anybody else have a business? Don't be afraid, guys. Speak up.
I'm a
Let's hear.
clinician, and so I do therapy, and I also sell soap, and I'm doing a soap class coming up. Soap making.
Like making of the soap.
Yes.
Awesome.
Mhm.
So how many people have you have the class all set up already?
I don't. I put it on Facebook, and I had a bunch of people say they wanted to do it. So I was like, all right, well, while they're interested, I better get on it.
Right. So what are some of the things you think you're going to do to bring those people from Facebook either onto a screen or to a place obviously to a place because you're making soap?
Right. I think first I need to, I replied to each of them, and then so I'm going to start thinking about, okay, what am I going to do? And then I want to start reaching out to them and kind of seeing like, what's your schedule? Like, how can we make it work for everybody? Maybe I'll do 2. What kind of soaps do you want to make? Hi, who are you? And get reacquainted, and yeah.
Now, Sarah, you have healthy food business, correct?
Yes.
if I understood that right. You were breaking up just a little bit there. So how do you reach out to your customers? How do you think that you get new clients for your business?
Well, I'm going to reach out to all the local gyms. I live in Torrington, so I'm starting here, and then I want to branch out as far as Waterbury, Southbury, Bristol, Farmington. So I'm starting small. I'm reaching out to all the local gyms, yoga studios, any kind of dietitian. I'm going to reach out to them. I'm going to try to set up like a promo where I'm going to have my table, my booth, with my samples, and just kind of like get their attention, so that I can fully launch. I have a handful of people that I'm going to use as my test subjects, where once my website's up and running, they're going to order online and they'll get it all for free. So they get their 5 meals. And then I need them to give me feedback on what was wrong, what was difficult, what could be done better, and the taste of the food and everything. So yeah, I'm just kind of starting with the exposure right now, but I'm hoping that if I can streamline it and make it really easy, that like, I can put my orders in on Sunday morning while I'm waiting to start at the gym. And then Sunday night when I get home, my food is ready and it's there, and I just put it in my fridge and grab and go. So I'm starting with like a promo kind of thing. I'm going to go to the local and set it up that way.
Wellness fairs, wellness conventions and whatnot might be a good place also for you to.
And Sarah, my wife just became a licensed nutritionist. She's done a couple of those fairs, and they're good because you also get to connect with a lot of people in the wellness and health arena who may be good complementary contacts for what you're looking to do.
Thank you. Wellness fairs.
So Paul, may I ask you, what kind of business do you have?
The business that I have is I'm an educational business trainer with I deal with coloring books. I also deal with poetry. I also deal with music, and I also deal with financial literacy. And so it's been, just before I came on over here, I was on the phone and I had just made a contact with an individual to get a column with with two local newspapers in Hartford, the Inquirer and the North End Agent, doing IRS and tax season tips. So he just gave me the word that he's going to have the column and it's going to be ongoing. So I'm very happy with that. And that's going to be an avenue to really help get the business, hopefully to get business going to the website, et cetera. But I'm just very, very excited about having the column inside the newspapers. So that's what I've been doing. I'm still tweaking. I'm still looking out for customers and as far as what people were talking about. But that's what I have. So
right. So what is your best way that you feel as though you can reach out and find those clients?
Well, in between, I've been doing some open mics, which is really helping to deal with my music. Mm-hmm. So I kind of like talk to people there. So it's really just getting out and networking. So like I'm trying to work to set up a YouTube site for my music. So I have people who will videotape the open mic. Other people are just doing it just for the pleasure of doing it, but I'm doing it for the business sense of it. So it's really just being into areas where I can start networking and really dealing with people, and where I can actually be talking to a large group of people.
Right. So do you believe that you can set yourself a 90-day goal?
Most definitely. And I think it's very good because it gives you the discipline that you really need. And I think where Kristen was sitting saying about things going on and whatever. So yeah, the 90-day goal, I think, is really good to really keep everything in focus and out of your head. And as you're saying, you're focusing it on a piece of paper so you can actually see it and not just think about it inside your head all the time, because we got all these other kinds of stuff that we deal with. And I think the 90-day goals is a very, very good, reachable goal to really work with and to move from there.
Absolutely.
Paul, just a possible suggestion. I'm economic development director for town of Berlin, so I work with a lot of businesses.
Nice.
Something to consider is looking at speaking to Rotary groups. They're usually always looking for speakers, and Rotary groups, people that are involved have big, huge networks. Might be a way to, one, give you ability to talk to people. Two, they're always welcome, and sometimes you get a free lunch.
Excellent. That sounds good to me. And I'm going to definitely take that in heart, and I'll be in contact with you, Chris.
Sounds like a plan if you'd like.
Awesome, guys. See, we're already networking within this little group right here. How cool is that, that you came on here to find out about goal and you're also networking at the same time? Anybody else want to talk about their business, talk about their goal? Go ahead, Joan.
Okay. I'm a fiber artist, and so I do eco-printed scarves, silk scarves, and I do fiber art wall hangings. And actually, I could kind of hook in with Sarah, and my last full-time job was as a registered dietitian, and I was a clinical faculty at UConn in dietetics. But like I've been doing the fiber art for about 8 years, and I was starting to get quite busy, and I have my scarves in a lot of nice places, the Wadsworth Athenaeum and New Britain Museum, and a lot of really nice places. And then, long story short, my dad had dementia, and it was a couple of years of caregiving.
Caretaking, yeah.
And then he just passed a month ago. So
Oh, I'm sorry.
thank you. So so now I'm kind of trying to see where I'm going to go from here and reinvent myself. And it's a little scary because, like I say, I was cruising along and getting more and more busy and really doing a lot of things. And then I was really just taking it quite slow. And his 2 years of dementia, well, plus that kind of was along with COVID. And so, yeah, so I'm ready to get myself out there again.
Some self-care for yourself along the way.
Yeah, I've been doing that for the past month. So I actually haven't done anything in the past month except chill. and it's good. It's good.
Listen, there's nothing wrong with that at all. We all need time to chill and time to refocus and find out.
Right.
So
that's
90.
I was going to say, so this was very timely when I saw goal setting for 90 days.
So you think you can come up with a goal for 90 days that you?
I do. And I was doing some calculations when you were talking about, like, say, if you wanted to increase your income by $1,000 and how many more things I would have to produce and sell. And it's a lot of work. No, I'm teasing. I like that. I like that part. That's why I do it.
So were you able, though, to take that and break it down as to
yes,
what you would have to do on like a daily basis?
Yes. And it's not horrible. So that's good. Yeah, because I'm ready to work more full time. I'm just, like I say, trying to figure out how to do that.
Awesome.
Yeah.
So the best way I like to do it is like Paul had said, to write down the goal, get it out of your head, get it onto a piece of paper.
Yeah.
So if you now it's not swirling around in your brain at 2 o'clock in the morning. You've gotten it already out. It's on the piece of paper. It's not something that you no longer have to think about all the time. You're going to see it, but you don't have to think about it.
I do agree that writing it down and having measurable goals, that's huge for me, because in my other profession, back in the day, I did a lot of consulting and stuff like that. And writing it down and having the goals really did help. And like I said, now I just have to sit down and ease myself into this.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And just remember, a goal is something that you want. You make sure that goal is something that's going to motivate you.
Mm-hmm.
Something that's going to make you feel that you want to get up every day and you want to go look and say, all right, I'm ready for my next action step because I have already taken my first couple of steps already.
Mm-hmm.
So Chris, he's gonna eat better and he's gonna get on the treadmill. So maybe when he gets to time number 3 in the week, he's gonna say, all right, well, maybe I don't want to quit being on the treadmill now. Maybe I'll go for a 4th day. I've done 3 days and maybe adding the fourth day, it's not going to be so bad. You want to also focus on the impact of that goal. So for Chris, he knows that by getting on the treadmill, that it's going to impact him in how he's getting ready to run the 5K. Eating better is going to impact him in how he feels so that he can get on the treadmill. And like I always said, that make sure you have the start and the start date and the end date. Very, very important. 90 days is not a long time. Another thing I like to do is I don't like to tell people what my goal is. So let's say I decided I was going to go to Weight Watchers and I told everybody that I had joined Weight Watchers. Well, what do you think they're going to do? They're going to watch everything that I put in my mouth. So if you don't say anything at all, you're the one who knows what your goal is. You know what your action steps are. You know how you're going to take your baby steps. When you get to that goal, no matter how big or how small it's going to be, then you can reward yourself. And you can pick what that reward is going to be. Maybe you tell somebody what you've been doing. So Sarah, we're going to go back to you and your food. What is the first thing that you think that you are going to do to take one step forward? Something that you can do today.
Oh, today?
Yep.
Today I'm going to apply for 2 loans. And I'm actually I have to call the health department to get my food permit. And then I'm going to call around to the local gyms, and see about setting up a promotion event 2 weeks from now.
Awesome. Feel confident about that. You can do those.
You know, someone once said that if you take away your safety net and you don't have a backup plan, you'll do a lot better with focusing on the plan.
Oh,
So
absolutely.
I said to myself, I'm like, it's now or never, sister. I started this in March last year. I signed up, I filled out all the official documents. I have my employee number and the tax documents. So I'm an official business, but I literally did like nothing the whole year except spend $1,000 on some catering thing. Like I spent money and I didn't do anything. So it's now or never. I have to do it. And focusing on my business makes me feel better about myself. It fills me with confidence. It fills me with like it's motivation. And I've been struggling for the last like 2 or 3 years. So it's now or never, man.
There you go. You have to be uncomfortable. Step outside that comfort zone. Take the step forward. All you have to do is take one step to set you onto your goals. And once you get the confidence, then you're willing to take the other step.
Right. Yeah, exactly. So my biggest struggle was getting my website going, I'm like, I don't want to do DoorDash. I don't want to do Uber Eats. I'm totally against it. It takes so much money from the business owners. I'm like, I need to figure out how to do my online store so they can order online, they can have their account and they can do all that. I spent like 4 months trying to figure it out myself. And I'm like, hold on, I'm wasting time when I could be working and saving money for my business and pay somebody else to finish it. And I was so afraid that it was going to cost me like $2,500. I called a couple people. They're like, oh, I can do that for $300. I was like, oh, take my card. And since I've released that pressure, I'm more focused on the rest of my goals and my responsibilities to get my business launched. So this guy's working on my website for me, no headache on my part. And now I'm doing all the fun stuff of like planning my marketing plan, coming up with my sales scripts, working on a sales pitch. Like, how am I going to, I'm a shy, like introverted kind of person. How am I going to talk to these strangers about, hey, let me come to your gym and give out free samples and like promote my business. So now I can focus more on that instead of the dread website.
Have you ever thought about reaching out to other people who are doing what you are doing?
Yeah, I have. So I've been trying to kind of I've been looking at his website. It's called Box Bistro. He's actually based out of Berlin. So I've kind of been looking at his website. They don't really reach back to me, especially local businesses that are similar to mine. They don't really want to talk. But I've noticed, like, I've reached out to like Delaware. I used to live in Albany, New York, so I can like find a business that's like mine and geographically similar to where I am. Because I only have 36,000 people in Torrington. That's not a lot of people to try to like convince them to eat my lunch every day. So I've been reaching out to other ones. It's just hard it's really hard. People don't want to like share their secrets.
I had a bakery and I made sure that I got to know all the bakeries that were around me. There's enough, there's enough business to go around for everybody.
Yeah, friendly
there's-
competition.
Yeah. And there's always something that they do that you don't do so that you can refer them.
Yeah,
So-
that's what my business is. So most of these meal prep and meal plan delivery services and subscriptions, they're focused more on family style. They're focused more on dinner. Mine is lunch. Mine's for that 9 to 5 worker that forgets that they need to eat. That's my client. So our clients are completely different.
There you go. Maybe it's coming up with some type of really powerful email for them when you send it out to them, or, you know,
Yeah,
just,
I'm a pretty casual person. I'm not really, in tune with the like professional business etiquette. I'm more like, hey, what's going on? Like, you want to help me? I'll help you. I'm very laid back, very low key. I don't want the suit and tie. I've never had an office job. I've always been in the kitchen.
you don't have to have a suit and tie. Never need to have a suit and tie. I
One
don't.
thing you can do, Sarah, is stop in there. Down on Main Street in Berlin.
Oh.
The 2 owners are James and his wife, Holly.
Yeah,
can't promise-
yeah.
I can't promise they'll respond to you, but you can at least see what they do.
Yeah,
Yeah, like kind of be a secret shopper.
why not?
Just go in there and say, hey, here's who I am. I'm interested to see what you're doing.
I would do that.
They can tell you to leave, or you could have a conversation. I mean,
There you go.
but
Or
if
them.
you're getting no response, and this is my 3rd webinar in a row. The last one was talking about communication. And is it somebody who's email? Is it somebody that's text message? Are they letters in person? If the email ain't working, the next thing is go face to face and see what happens.
Yeah.
They have some very cool stuff. They actually have energy bites that I buy. They're really good for you, apparently. So
You've been there? You've been there?
actually, I helped bring them to Berlin and then help them to buy the building they're in.
Oh, wow.
My role is to work with businesses, help them to find a location, expand, and I work throughout the town of Berlin.
There you go. You found a person who might be able to help you get in touch with somebody who has a business like yours.
Mm-hmm.
That's kind of cool.
Yeah.
I was going to say that for Beth, that in dealing with the 90-day goal business is that I'm planning on having at least 2 webinars of SCORE that I will be attending over the next 90 days, 2 per month.
There you go. And these webinars are going to be different so that you are going to have, so you can gather more information, correct?
Exactly. And just, it's the more that I have found from attending the webinars, my mentor is Bob Stanley, and he had introduced me to the group up in New Hampshire. And the New Hampshire group is an excellent group to work with. So it's been very, very helpful all the way. And I'm just growing as I'm going to attending these seminars and getting more information that I need to have to really put that to use in my business.
Yeah. Does everybody feel the same way? Awesome. That's a good way to do it. I'm one of those people who loves to attend seminars and webinars and see what other points of view are out there. Somebody always has a different approach to something, and it might not be too far off from what you're doing, but it might be one or two different things that are a little bit different that might make it easier for you when it comes to setting your goals and being able to achieve your goals. Plant that seed. Make sure that it's like water is planting the seed and then taking care of the seed and watering the seed so that it all can start to bloom. That's what we're doing for ourselves. By attending different webinars and different talks, you're getting different seeds that you can plant. And then your job then is to water it, cultivate it. Does anybody have any questions? Come on, guys.
Hey Beth, I'll throw one out there for you.
All right.
I like the idea of kind of the short window, the 90-day goals. I'm kind of a short-term goal, long-term goal with different levels of specificity is kind of how I manage things. What do you get to that point where you start to realize that your 90-day goal is too far out of reach? What do you where I'm getting at is, do you periodically look at your goals and say, is it still achievable? Is it not? Do you refresh them? Do you kind of not start over, but maybe kind of calibrate? How do you think about that when you're looking at your goals?
So when I look at my goals, and if I think that I'm not going to be able to achieve my goal in the 90 days, I don't give up on the goal. I look at the goal, see if I need to break it down into a couple more pieces, like, recalibrate it. And then maybe just extend it out for another short period of time. Maybe you need 4 more weeks that you believe to get that goal accomplished. Make note to yourself that you are changing the goal, the goal end date, why you're changing the goal end date. And guys, sometimes it could be life that gets in your way. And that's why you couldn't achieve the 90 days. But if you're giving yourself 2, 3, 4 more weeks, then you're going to be able to achieve the goal. Nothing wrong with that whatsoever. At all.
So life happens. My business, I have an organizing business and clean outs and painting and all sorts of stuff. But I landed in the hospital last week because I had an infection and I had to cancel 4 weeks worth of customers, which is awful, and postpone them all. So be prepared for, dumb stuff. And that's all I can tell you is just be prepared for dumb stuff. And part of the reason I decided to take this class was because I don't have any employees. I'm it. I have customers who are very happy, but I need to keep my head in my game despite the fact that I'm going to be out of work for another month. And so I was sitting in the hospital when I got the email from SCORE, and I said, you know what? I'm going to be off next week. Let's go re-motivate ourselves.
And is it remotivating you to get yourself ready when you are going to be physically ready to go back?
Absolutely. Absolutely. But, it's very easy to do the poor me and then deflate your own balloon and sit on your butt and be unmotivated because life handed you lemons. And so I was like, you know what? I'm going to need a brain boost, if you will. So I decided to take this class.
Thank you. I appreciate that you came today and that you shared. Go ahead, Sarah.
So I can relate with the 90-day goals, and you're getting down to the wire and like, oh, I'm not near my deadline. So with my website, that was one of the biggest struggles for me. It really wore me down. It killed my confidence because no matter how many articles or YouTube videos I was watching, I signed up, I paid $150 for this extra help, and I was just getting nowhere. And I'm like, I can't launch my business if I don't have the website, because my my exposure is all online for the most part. So I was like, that's when I had to sit down and I had to recalculate. I had to look at my funds. I have to be like, I can't get through this hurdle. I need help. So I had to reevaluate my goals. And I was like, what if I took the website pressure off of me? And then now I'm like, I want to launch March 1st. Like, that's my goal date. And I'm like, I've already posted it online. I've got my Instagram and my social media. I'm launching March 1st. Like, once you take away what's really, like, if you're able to take away what's really struggling, what's really keeping you from launching, and you actually get the help you need, and you sacrifice, like, okay, I got to sacrifice a few $100s, but in the long term, like, am I really even because it's taken me 4 hours to make one change on one product on my website, where I could pay somebody and have it done, the whole thing done in 4 hours.
Right.
So sometimes if you see that you're not achieving your goals, you really have to just look for another route. You have to, like, sometimes you have to just suck it up and do what you don't want to do to get what you want. Someone once said, people don't get what they want in the future because they give it up for what they want now. I wanted to save that money. I don't want to spend any more money. I already paid X amount for my website. I don't want to spend any more money. So, like, that's what I wanted right now. I want to save my money. But in the long run, I'm wasting money, because then the money that I paid him $300, now I can go work and I can make more than $300. So,
and that's why
like,
you always set a budget for your goal. Sometimes your goal is going to cost you money. So make sure that you have budgeted the money for that goal. So yes, absolutely. So I wanted to also tell you guys about my book that I wrote, For the Love of Cake. It is an entrepreneur's journey through my bakery of 11 years. I tell you all the love and joy. I mean, I loved my bakery. I loved everything about my bakery. I love the people that came in. But it also shows you the pitfalls. Very, very transparent. It lets you know what strategies I did not have in place, where I fell down, why I fell down, and how I kept getting back up again. So it also goes through, how to take that dream and how to build that strong foundation, which you guys get from SCORE. And I use SCORE also when I started out in business, and being able to build that strong foundation, and then being able to, implement, putting in your goals along the way. So this is available on Amazon. It is available really on any other online book outlet that you can find. You can go straight to my website, bethbolton.com, and you can find, the link will be right there. There's a little pop-up that says, have you got the book? It's fun. It was very cathartic for me to write that during the pandemic. That's what I did with myself during the pandemic. I kind of reflected back on the 11 years of owning a bakery and how I was going to go forward, because I didn't know how I was going to go forward with a pandemic in front of me. I don't think any of us knew how we were going forward. Where could we go? What could we do? So
it's interesting, Beth. You mentioned that we've seen, as we've looked at what's happened with SCORE over the last 2 years, just a dramatic increase in the number of new business owners, which is fantastic. That folks who are, always had that dream and said, I wonder if I could start my own thing. And then, sometimes, life happens, as we said, and it kind of nudged some people, I think, to take that chance. So we've seen a lot of folks who have come to us for help on getting their business started. One of the things that I wanted to mention, just to piggyback on some of the recent conversation around goal setting, is I spent most of my time in a corporate finance role in my career, and when we would set our annual goal setting process and kind of refresh it every quarter, a lot of times we'd brainstorm a list of 20 ideas, say, this is great. I want to do all these things this year. And then we'd say, we can get all this stuff done in a few months. Great. And then before you know it, you're doing everything, with half effort, half energy, and nothing works well. So we used to kind of take this mindset of try to pick 3 to 5 things and do them really well.
That's right.
And the other 15 things that are on your list, they can wait. If you prioritize the right way. And from a business owner standpoint, I always talk to folks about what's going to drive the most revenue. If you're mostly a retail shop and you've got a website and you want to improve your website, but most of your revenue comes from your retail shop, focus on the things that are going to drive more foot traffic into your store. The website can wait. So those are just some examples of trying to focus on your goals being what's going to drive the most customers, the most revenue. And those are going to allow you the opportunities to invest in your business that may cost other things like building out a website or hiring somebody to build out your website for you. So just a few pieces of advice on things I work with my clients on.
As being a baker, every day I would make a prep list for myself. And I would have that kitchen prep list for myself. So Sarah, if you've been in the kitchen, you know what that is. So on that prep list, though, was things that had to get done. And I would always put them in order of importance. But I always made that list just a little bit longer in case I got through some of the things in my day. So it was my prep list, but there was a little wish list at the bottom there, hoping that maybe, I might get it through. I might get through down there that, I really want to try that recipe for pecan cookies. And you know what, if life is okay that day, then maybe I might get to it. But if I don't get to it, then it's not the end of the world.
Yeah, I used to call those stretch goals,
Yeah.
right? They're not impossible, but if the capacity allows, you don't have a fire drill of the day, maybe you can get that done today.
Yeah. Now, these goals, when you set them, you're not going to sit down on January 1st and set the goal for the next 90 days. You're going to have that already in place when you're going to start your 90-day. So if you're going to start your 90-day goal, say on 2/15, all right, that's the date you're going to pick. You're going to pick 2/15. You're going to get yourself all ready so that you're ready to go on February 15th. Don't last minute sit down and say, these are the goals I want to do. It's going to take you can plan. It's all in the planning. Preparation. But don't be afraid, because all you have to do is take the first step. And the first step is to sit down, make the goal, write it down, then break it down into action steps. And then how are you going to do those action steps? And then when you get to the end, how are you going to feel? Are you going to reward yourself? Because then it's time to make a whole nother set of goals. So it's something that is continually evolving for your business. And just remember that if you want to have some personal time put in there. So Joan, you've been out of the loop for a little bit. You've got to get yourself back into that swing of things. Nothing wrong with making a 90-day self-care plan to get yourself ready to put yourself back out there. Maybe you're reaching out a little bit here, doing a little bit there, but you're moving yourself forward to get to where you want to go. So, anybody have any questions? Are we all going to make 90-day goals? Are we going to make action steps to go with those 90-day goals? Awesome. Yes. That's awesome, guys. Well, you know what? I thank you for taking time out on your Tuesday to spend some time with me. I'd be happy to speak with anybody if they would like to. For anybody that is here today, if you want to reach out to me, I would certainly do a discovery session with you and help you with your goals.
Beth, what is your website again?
BethBolton.com. It's
That's
really
simple.
original.
Excellent. Thank you.
Yep. You can find me on Facebook. You can find me on Instagram. I am on LinkedIn also. You can email me, Beth@BethBolton.com. I've made that all really, really easy for everybody. So.
All right. Well,
All
Beth,
right.
thank you. Thank you very much. Any last questions or comments before we wrap up?
Hey, thank you very much for
Okay.
Beth. This was great. And sitting here jotting notes the entire time. I just need to get my rear end in that direction. But just wanted to say thank you so much.
Thank you very much.
All right. Well, thanks to everybody. And if any of you missed a portion of the webinar, a recording link will go out to everyone who registered. Thanks again, Beth. It was wonderful advice, especially this time of year as we're thinking about our goals for the next few months and for the rest of the year. Once again, if you're interested in learning more about SCORE or signing up for some mentoring services or checking out our webinars or workshops, you can do that at score.org. And best of luck to all of you in your businesses and your personal endeavors, and enjoy the rest of your day.
Good luck, everybody. Thank you for being here.